Politics has become a big focus for investors over the last year. Populist parties are increasing in popularity and the mainstream centre parties are losing votes. So markets have become very focused on this area. And of course, last year we had the Brexit vote and the election of Donald Trump. Now, you could say that markets have been quite strong since those events, and you could say that populism has been good for markets. I think a couple of things to say on that. First of all, we have seen a global recovery taking place at the same time, so that's obviously helped markets. That's been coming through. For the UK, the market obviously benefited from the fall in the pound, and we had a cut in interest rates. So those things which follow the Brexit vote have also been very, very supportive. Looking ahead at the moment, though, the fall in the pound is leading to higher inflation in the UK. We're seeing quite a rise in inflation, and that's beginning to squeeze consumers, and that will slow the economy down. So a few doubts about the benefits of populism creeping in. And of course, we've just started the trade negotiations, having triggered Article 50, and that's creating a lot of uncertainty as well, and that seems to be having an adverse effect on capex. For the US, it's a slightly different story. Donald Trump's pro-growth agenda has really boosted confidence in the markets, and that's obviously been one of the factors behind the strong rise and the outperformance of US equities. However, even in the US, markets are having some doubts about what we call the reflation trade. Fiscal policy, for example, may not be as supportive as investors had hoped. Donald Trump is having trouble getting some of his policies through Congress. So that might actually slow down the reflation trade going forward. If we look to the current area of focus, which is really Europe, we have the French presidential elections coming up. And again, there's populist parties there who are running for power, with Marine Le Pen looking like she could win the first round. Now, we don't expect Marine Le Pen to win the second round. We do think that there's a big difference here between the election and what happened with the UK, with Brexit, and even with Donald Trump, because Marine Le Pen is more of a known quantity, so we've got an idea of how much support she can really generate, whereas Brexit and Trump were completely new. But should Marine Le Pen win, then she is also promising a referendum on France's membership of the EU. And if she was to win that, then that could have very big consequences for markets, because it would mean that France would leave the euro. So that could really have a big impact. We don't think that's likely to happen. And in some ways, the pressure that's been created by the populists in Europe could be quite good, because it could shift the EU towards a more pro-growth, pro-fiscal policy agenda. And that, I think, could ultimately be good for markets.